Come along with me, time travelers, as we head back to 1777. This is when, during the American Revolution, General George Washington, our first president, led 11,000 regulars to take up winter quarters in Valley Forge on the west bank of the Schuylkill River, 22 miles or 35 kilometers northwest of Philadelphia. The English author Charles Dickens published A Christmas Carol in 1843, which became one of the outstanding Christmas stories in uh, modern literature. And they now say that it's a classic, which it is. Jeanette, a French criminal and social outcast turned writer, who as dramatist became a lead figure in avant-garde theater, became the theater of absurd, was born in 1910. French singer and actress Edith Piaf, whose interpretation of chanson, a French ballad, made her an internationally famous, was born 5 years later in 1915. 41 years later, in 1966, the United Nations General Assembly endorsed the Outer Space Treaty, an international treaty binding the parties to use their outer space only for peaceful purpose. In 1977, the sci-fi drama A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of a novel by Anthony Burgess, had its world premiere. Although widely acclaimed, the movie's violent and sexually explicit scenes provided controversial, and it became an X rating when released in the United States. 3 years later, in 1974, Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller was sworn in as the 41st Vice President of the United States, succeeding Gerald Ford, who had been alleviated from the presidency following the resignation of Richard Nixon. 1997 brought us James Cameron's Titanic, a drama about the doomed ocean liner starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, premiered. It later became one of the highest grossing movies of all time. On this day in 1998, the U.S. House of Representatives impeached President Bill Clinton, charging him with perjury and obstruction of justice, though Clinton was acquitted by the Senate the following month. 2001 was when AT&T agreed to sell its cable television business to Comcast Corporation. 2006 was the second time 5 Bulgarian nurses and a Palestinian doctor were sentenced to death in Libya for having deliberately infected children in hospital, and in Benghazi with HIV. Experts have suggested that The 1998 outbreak of HIV in the hospital predicted the arrival of defendants. 2 years later, in 2008, Sean Fitzpatrick registered as chairman of Anglo Irish Bank in Ireland after it had learned that he had received 87 million euros or $125 million in personal loans from the bank and had hidden the loans from shareholders. In 2012, Park Geun-hye became the first female to be elected president of South Korea. She was sworn into office the following year. However, she also became the country's first democratically elected president to be removed from office, when she was impeached in 2017. And this will bring us back to our current history and 2023. Until next time.